Let us pray. Spirit of wisdom and truth, on this special day we gather as family and friends, teachers and colleagues to celebrate all that has been accomplished by our honored guests and our graduating students. As we begin our commencement ceremonies today, let us be reminded that our joy in this moment rests on a common faith, that those who graduate this day have indeed come to love learning and to honor qualities of personal living and social responsibility that reflect integrity and character, as well as intellectual achievement. That their learning has been broad and liberating. That they have learned about themselves through the challenges they have confronted to acquire insight and self-understanding. That they have experienced here the joy that comes from extending hospitality to the stranger and the beauty that is created by diversity and difference. That they have confronted the mystery of their lives, its fragility, as well as its resilience. That they have discovered that personal fulfillment comes not from what is acquired, but from what is given away freely in service to others. On this day of new beginnings, in this moment when we thank Deans Donald Hall and Gary Sasso for their dedicated service among us, we are filled with expectation for all that awaits. We express gratitude for all that our students and honored guests have achieved, and we call again for wisdom to descend upon us, to fill our hearts and minds, that we might return in service to others all that we have so richly received in privilege and as blessing. Amen.
Please be seated. Good morning. As chairman of the Board of Trustees of Lehigh University, I, Kevin Clayton, on behalf of the board, declare the 150th commencement exercises of Lehigh University to be open. To begin our exercises, it is my great pleasure to introduce the president of Lehigh University, John Simon.
So welcome to the 150th commencement of Lehigh University. On behalf of the entire campus community, I want to welcome all of our guests today, including the families and friends of our graduates, our speakers, members of the Board of Trustees, and members of the class of 1968, who will be celebrating their 50th reunion in June. Academic regalia uses colors to symbolize degrees attained and particular fields of study. In the same manner, when you look out across the sea of graduates today, you'll observe that many of our students are wearing stoles and cords of various colors and designs. These symbolize the many different awards, organizations, and achievements that were so much a part of their student experience at Lehigh. I encourage you to engage the students at the college receptions following this ceremony and ask them for the stories behind what they're wearing. It is now my honor to begin these exercises by introducing our graduate student speaker, Gorgi Pavlov. Gorgi came to Lehigh as an international student from Macedonia. As an undergraduate, he served as president of the Association of International Students, completed an internship as a validation engineer with 3M in Shanghai, and studied abroad in Istanbul. In 2014, he earned his Lehigh's Bachelor of Science degree in chemical engineering with a minor in biotechnology. Gorgi continued his education at Lehigh and will graduate today with a doctorate in chemical engineering, a year earlier than his original plan, which is impressive considering the long list of contributions he has made to the university. While a graduate student, he served as the teaching assistant for several chemical engineering and bioengineering labs, mentored undergraduate students in and out of the classroom. As a Gottschalk Fellow and research assistant, his main investigation was determining the effects of pH and temperature on chromatographic separation processes. His discoveries have been published in several journals, and he presented his work at 2 international conferences. Gorgi served as president of the Graduate Student Senate and vice president of the Chemical Engineer Graduate Student Association, was advisor to Pi Delta Theta, and was on the search committee to select the new vice provost for student affairs. Recognized for his service to the university, he has received multiple teaching merit and leadership awards, including the Graduate Student Teaching Assistant Award and the Rossin College Graduate Student Leadership and Service Award. After graduation, he will be joining Evonik Corporation in Indiana as a process engineer, focusing on microbial fermentation and downstream operations. Please welcome Gorgi Pavlov.
Thank you, President Simon, for the introduction. It is an immense honor to address the graduating class on behalf of the graduate students, and especially to have an international student doing the address. I may be the first student from Macedonia that has had this distinction at Lehigh University. Today, I will talk to you about the 3 questions that shaped my Lehigh experience. But first, my fellow graduates, a few thank yous are in order. To our professors, for imparting the secrets of the universe, both known and unknown. To our colleagues, friends, and staff, for their unwavering support and encouragement. And last but not least, to our parents, because without them, we would not be the people that we are today. My journey to Lehigh started with a very, very important question. As I'm about to board a plane from Macedonia, I asked my parents, so where am I going? I could only look at my parents' stunned faces, and neither them nor I had any idea exactly where I was going. I had never visited Lehigh before. The only glimpse of life at Lehigh was only through the website. And in my admissions essay, I wrote, Lehigh is a place bustling with life. Its numerous educational offers make it the perfect place for every student. Lehigh also gives the freedom of the student to find its own area of interest. It enables the student to pursue a distinctive and a unique career path. I captured Lehigh as a place to grow, thrive, and succeed. I guess 17-year-old me really did have an idea where he was going. He was excited to explore and discover. As a doctoral student, this passion for discovery was amplified by my undergraduate studies at Lehigh. At first, I spent hours and hours repeating experiments, reading literature, but that information still wouldn't give me a clear answer what I really needed to know. Again, I was exploring this idea, and I only had pieces of data. And I walked into my advisor, Jim Sue's office, and I asked him, "Any idea what's going on with this process?" To which he answered, "Well, I don't know. I guess it's up to you to figure it out, because I don't think anyone in the world knows." Well, 215 pages of a dissertation later, and we all have a clearer picture of what's going on in that process. That single question was enough to direct my passion for discovery and create a meaningful and applicable innovation. Then my thesis defense came in, and my advisor asked me, "So, what is your philosophy?" Which I interpreted as, "Why are you doing this?" And I thought about the research that I have accomplished and its potential, and I replied, "Well, I have been to the mountaintop, campus, that is, and I have seen the promised land." Well, today, those words have incredibly different meaning for me. The promised land right now is right in front of me. All of us, new graduates, heading on to discover new horizons and explore. Today, we leave Lehigh with a newfound sense of genius, the one imparted to us by this living laboratory where we grew, we thrived, and we succeeded. Now it is on us to make a difference and make it count. Thank you.
Thank you, Gorgi. Congratulations, and we wish you great success in your career. I would now like to introduce the president of the senior class, Hai Lee. Hai is graduating with a Bachelor of Science degree in Civil Engineering with a minor in Economics. When Hai was first looking at colleges as a high school student in New Jersey, Lehigh was not on his radar. On a whim, he visited the university with a friend, and like many, immediately fell in love with the campus and how comfortable he felt here. Hai has served in many leadership roles during the past 4 years. As class president, he was part of the Council of Student Presidents that analyzed current issues and campus challenges. He was also vice president of membership for Lehigh's Association of Student Alumni and vice president of communications for Sigma Phi Epsilon. Involved with Lehigh's Engineers Without Borders, Hai was a project class group leader and worked on hydrology and structural designs for a small community in Nicaragua. He interpolated rainfall data and designed a bridge to help cars drive into the community when surrounding creeks flooded. He was public relations chair of both Engineers Without Borders and the Construction Management Organization. Completing 2 internships, Hai gained professional experience as a sales engineer intern for Radiant Energy Systems in New Jersey and as an intern in the software department of SIM Technology in Shanghai. Having passed the certifications needed to become an engineering in training, Hai is starting his career as a project engineer at Whiting Turner Construction Company at their Washington, D.C. office. Hai aspires to become a certified project manager and be fully responsible for multi-million-dollar infrastructure projects. Please join me in welcoming the senior class president, Hai Lee.
Sorry, I gotta flip to the page. All right. All right. It's coming. Okay. Oh, well, I don't have it here. Seriously, I don't have it, guys. Where's the speech?
Should be right in somewhere.
How's the sun, everyone? At least it's not raining, right? See, like it's not in there.
Should be right there.
Yeah, it should have been right there. All right, gotta pull out the phone. Give me a second. All right, let's see. Please bear with me. First of all, of course, thank you, President Simon. Hello all, and welcome to the class of 2018 commencement ceremony. It's great to stand up here to see the happy yet sleep-deprived faces of my fellow classmates. Hopefully everyone made it back from senior week safely. Again, my name is Hai Lee, and I am the undergraduate president of the class of 2018. I would like to begin today's remarks by thanking the friends and families of the graduating class who have joined us today to honor their respective students. And also, of course, those streaming online. Hopefully, this is better than a Monday in the office, something us new graduates will come to terms with very soon. It is a pleasure to have you here, and I think I speak for everyone when I say thank you for your unconditional love and support that got us to this point in our lives. Secondly, I would like to acknowledge the Lehigh staff, faculty, and board members who are present today on stage and also working behind the scenes. Thank you for everything that you do for us and Lehigh. I know you made a difference in my experience here, and I'm sure you did the same for many others. Lastly, I would like to congratulate the undergraduate class of 2018 for reaching this important milestone in your life. I know you'll have bright futures ahead of you, and I'm proud to be one of you. Like turning a page to the next chapter, I know we're all very eager to move our tassel from right to left. Yes, tassels are supposed to be on the right side. Please fix that. The road here wasn't easy, but I hope that you've all enjoyed the ride. At this point in time, we tend to reminisce about our first day. There's the direction signs that got us more lost and confused than we were before. The group of overzealous Lehigh helpers, otherwise known as the Lehigh Free Labor Force. The highly populated squirrel population, roaming around chasing acorns. And of course, who can forget the distinctive, colorful backpack that set us aside from the upperclassmen? As if it wasn't bad enough that they gave us, that we came to Lehigh to become the bottom of the totem pole, but to have a colorful reminder is a bit much. Where did our college experience go? It really flashed right before our eyes. But that first day seems like a lifetime ago, right? Doesn't it? The Lehigh experience is different for everyone. So that's why instead of listing off overarching events that have happened, such as us being the youngest class to attend the 150th rivalry game with that other school, or how we beat them 3 out of the 4 years we were here, right? Or how our team became Patriot League champs last year. See, all these things, although great, do not reflect your own personal experience. So at this time, I would like to ask everyone to think back of like your most memorable moments at Lehigh. It could be good, bad, awkward even. It doesn't really matter. What matters is it's the first thing you thought of, and that's what made it special and unique to you. And see, these memories are your precious keepsake. That was the foundation of who you became through your experience here. I am proud to be among you all, a member of the class of 2018. And to my fellow class officers, Fortunate, Patrick, Matt, and Megan, thank you for your support these past 4 years. And people stop texting me, I see it. Well then, it is nearing the end of my speech, so please, straighten up, get ready to walk on stage, smile for the camera, and get that $250,000 handshake from President Simon. I'll see you on the other side. Congratulations, class of 2018. Thank you.
So, hi. I always knew we trained students well for adverse situations. You handled that really well. So I'd like to now introduce Erin Garrity, who was Erin was elected by the Lehigh University Student Senate to offer remarks today. She was selected by her peers because of her contribution to the Lehigh community and her ability to reflect on the mission and values of the university. Erin hails from New Jersey. She will receive her bachelor's degree in chemical engineering with a minor in business. Because of the encouragement of Professor Kamal Tuzla, Erin spent a summer abroad as a research assistant at the Socioeconomic Marine Research Institute at the National University of Ireland in Galway. She said it was one of the best experiences of her college career. Erin interned at the Train Company as a technical sales engineer and worked with staff to create innovative, cost-effective, and energy-saving heating, venting, and air conditioning systems for New York's biggest buildings. After graduation, she is joining the firm full-time as an intelligence services account engineer in New York City. Erin is a member of Pi Beta Phi and serving as vice president of membership development. Very active in driving positive change in the Greek community, she was vice president of Greek relations for the Panhellenic Council and served as an emerging leader, mentor, and program coordinator of the Greek Emerging Leaders Program. In her application to be selected as the commencement student speaker, Erin said that the people she met as an undergraduate, including Lehigh alumni, helped her to have one of the most fulfilling college careers a student could ask for. One of those people was Gorgi Pavlov, who was her teaching assistant in Chemical Engineering Operations Lab. Please join me in welcoming Erin Garrity.
Move these down a little bit. Good morning, everyone. Holy cow. It's such an honor to be up here speaking to you all today as we graduate Lehigh. When I started writing this speech, I thought about all the ways I could reflect on my time at Lehigh and pull together some meaningful life advice. But then I remembered that I'm 22 and I eat ramen for dinner pretty regularly, so maybe I'm not in the best place to be giving advice. I started off my freshman year like everyone else, at the bottom of the mountain. I was probably at the mail center with way too many textbooks in my backpack. The trek up to my dorm seemed impossible. Like most other freshmen, I didn't know the bus route, and I was far too embarrassed to ask for help. Other highlights from my freshman year included feeling lost in my first large lecture class, giving my email out to every group at the club fair, living in a lofted bed in a forced double with a stranger, and chipping my tooth on a Rathbone fork. My first semester at Lehigh was an overwhelming tornado of emotions. Just ask my mom. I called home every day, sometimes multiple times a day. Sophomore year, I climbed a little higher on the mountain. I made it to Taylor Gym and stopped briefly to wonder why anyone thought investing in a Stairmaster was a good idea. Even though I had climbed so far, I still didn't know if I could conquer the rest of the mountain. I had gotten past prerequisite classes and declared my major. Then someone made a group me for all of the chemical engineers. 67 strangers sending messages constantly asking, what would Professor Tuzla do? On top of those 67 people, I lived in a sorority house with 54 other women. Classes got harder, leadership roles got bigger, and keeping track of those 121 people on GroupMe made me want to smash my phone. The only reason I didn't was because I still called my family every day, and every day they encouraged me to climb a little higher. Junior year, I made it up to the UC. I probably should have walked to the 4th floor of Roush to career services, but they didn't have chicken finger Fridays. Sending out resumes, coordinating leadership programs, and trying to figure out the magic of mass transfer was exhausting. I spent a lot of time in the Office of Student Engagement seeking solace on my mentor's couch, taking deep breaths and trying to get a handle on my stress level, which was really magnified when Vine shut down on January 17th. But I persevered. Junior year was a test of my technical knowledge, my time management skills, and my ability to find good Vine compilations on YouTube. This time, my parents were the ones calling me, checking in after not hearing from me for days, still reassuring me that I could do it and that the top would be worth it. Senior year, I finally made it up to the Lehigh Lookout, peering out over Bethlehem and a campus full of accomplishments, the biggest one being that I finally mastered the bus schedule. All the things I had stressed about morphed into memories that I'll always look back at fondly. Yes, chemies, even the late nights in Grace Hall. Everyone stepped onto campus with goals to accomplish and their own mountains to climb. It was definitely not easy to get to the top, but we did it. Side by side with friends from the first night of freshman year, the best next-door neighbors, a bunch of gems, and some pretty incredible community leaders. In the words of my personal hero, a 2009 Miley Cyrus, "There's always gonna be another mountain. I'm always gonna wanna make it move. Always gonna be an uphill battle. Sometimes I'm gonna have to lose. Ain't about how fast I get there. Ain't about what's waiting on the other side. It's the climb." The most thanks and love to my mom, my dad, and my sisters for always picking up the phone when I call. Class of 2018, thank you for climbing this mountain with me. Now go out there and conquer your next mountain.
Thank you, Erin. I would now like to invite Dipti Gulati to the podium to introduce the 2018 commencement speaker. Dipti is a 1990 Lehigh graduate who earned her degree in accounting, and she is a partner with Deloitte. Please join in welcoming Dipti Gulati.
Thank you, President Simon. Congratulations to the class of 2018 and all of the family and friends that have supported you along the way. I'm so excited to be here today. As President Simon said, I'm a proud graduate of Lehigh's class of 1990 and also a partner at Deloitte, and I'm excited to be here to introduce my friend, Kathy Engelbert. Kathy Engelbert is the CEO of Deloitte and a graduate of Lehigh University's class of 1986. Through the years, Kathy and I have often reminisced about our Lehigh days, walking up the hill, the Lehigh Lafayette games, and of course, how hard Professor Sinclair's cost accounting class was. While at Lehigh, Kathy excelled on many fronts. She was a star athlete, both on the lacrosse field and on the basketball court. And in the classroom, she excelled and received a degree in accounting. She started working at Deloitte right out of college, and through her over 30 years at Deloitte, has served some of our most complex clients and has also led numerous businesses. In 2015, she made history. She broke the glass ceiling, and she became the first female CEO of a Big Four accounting firm. And today, she leads Deloitte with nearly 90,000 employees in 100 cities. She's a strong supporter of family and balancing work and family. And in 2016, as the CEO, she made a bold move. She created Deloitte's industry-leading family leave program that provides the men and women of Deloitte up to 16 weeks of paid family leave to support life events that may be impacting them and their families. Through the years, she's been recognized for many accomplishments. You'll often see her on the Fortune's Most Powerful Women's list, Crane's Most Powerful Women in New York list, and the one that Kathy is most proud of, being recognized by Working Mother magazine as 50 Most Powerful Moms. It's clear that Lehigh's education provided Kathy an amazing foundation from which she's been able to achieve so much. So please join me in welcoming my friend, Kathy Engelbert.
And hopefully my speech is here, so I see it up here on the podium. Well, thank you, Dipti. I really appreciate those kind words, especially from a fellow Deloitter and a fellow alum. Thank you, President Simon, Chairman Clayton, Provost Farrell, members of the Board of Trustees, faculty and distinguished guests, and hello and congratulations, graduates, students, family, and friends that are here today. I am thrilled to be back on campus where I've had so many fond memories, like home basketball games as a lady engineer in Grace Hall, lacrosse games at Taylor Stadium, which is now the Roush Business Center, toasted bagels with butter at the UC, I don't know if everybody still has those, living in Palmer freshman year, great professors, especially for me in the business school, interviews in Christmas Salkin Hall, I see that is still standing, and of course, the rivalry, the Lehigh Lafayette. 16 times having played two sports, I played against Lafayette, and I am happy to report we beat them almost all 16 times. I also heard today about the Hawk's Nest, which wasn't here when I was there, but when I asked some of you what your favorite memory or what you're going to miss the most, many people said the mac and cheese at the Hawk's Nest. So I know, though, that one thing hasn't changed is your favorite memories of hiking up to Lookout the Hill, bed races, I know I remember those, and so much great to remember at Lehigh and have such a beautiful campus to enjoy. An absolutely wonderful speech, Gorgi, Hi, and Erin. It's always so inspirational to hear from students like you. I took some notes. I'll be using these in my future speeches. I love the Promised Land. I love Conquer the Next Mountain. And, you know, just a great representation of all that Lehigh is all about. You do give us a lot of inspiration. But one of the most unique parts of graduation day is that it does symbolize the closing of one chapter of life and the start of another. It's a day of reflection and excitement. So in that spirit today, I would like to share with you 3 general life lessons that I have learned over the years that have helped me in my journey since graduating from Lehigh, and the ways in which I predict they will come to life for you as you head into your careers. First, do what hasn't been done. For me, that came to life throughout my career journey, joining new teams, new clients, jumping on new projects, and ultimately as I was elected as a CEO. I bet your career journeys will be a bit more futuristic and tech-focused. Journeys that involve the words artificial intelligence, drone, robot, automation, where you will prove all the doom and gloom of today wrong. You will tell yourself it wasn't worth the hype. I encourage you to stay optimistic and play an active key role in carving the path, leveraging your uniquely human skills like creativity, empathy, communication, and complex problem solving. Reinvention at every stage will not only still matter, but it will matter even more because of the pace of change today. Second, schedule your personal updates. What do I mean by that? I would like to draw an analogy here, that in the same way that you see upgrades and updates to every technology around you, from application and software updates to new programming features, you too will personally need your own updates. I know that little red one that stares at me every time I open up the settings on my smartphone that says I need to upgrade or I haven't backed up in 53 weeks. It will be up to you to get in front of the changes in technology because you won't get the same kind of notifications for your own personal updates as you do from your smartphone. And third, and probably most important, stay anchored on what matters to you most. For me, that has always meant focusing on family. And I foresee that a lot of you will have the same root in family, and that you'll also blur the lines between work and purpose more than ever before. You will reflect about the fact that doing business and doing good don't have to be two separate things. I'm sure many of you have a purpose that you're passionate about. That doesn't end today with graduation. You can carry that through whatever you're going to do, from graduate school to entering the workforce. There's a push to come together as social issues grow in depth, severity, and priority. I challenge you to take a bold stance and make a difference in your day-to-day work. Now, I thought it would be insightful to share more about how these lessons came to life for me via a letter that I have written to my younger self. A letter I would write as if I were sitting in the audience with you right now, a senior on graduation day at Lehigh, but having lived some life experiences over the past 32 years since I sat in your chair. So here it goes. Dear Kathy, congratulations on this momentous day, your college graduation. Lehigh has been a wonderful and crazy journey, and you'll never believe what's coming next. Over the last 4 years, Lehigh brought you out of your shell athletically, academically, and socially. You learned how to balance different parts of your life through captaining the basketball and lacrosse teams while maintaining your academic commitment. You saw the challenge and opportunity that comes with asking, where's my place here? Why is everyone so smart here? And how can I take initiative? You learn how to redefine yourself and recalibrate in new situations. And you were humbled by those around you, their intelligence and success. Take a moment to let those learnings sink in. They will serve you long after you leave. You already know the great impact of Lehigh on your life. What you have yet to see is just how much you will fall back on the lessons learned here throughout the rest of your journey, both personally and professionally. One of the most influential factors on your college experience was your involvement in sports, and it wasn't always easy. You felt the exhaustion that came with having an away game and returning at midnight, getting to class, or maybe not, the next morning at 7:55 a.m. I am so thankful you stuck with it and balanced your time and energy between athletics and academics. It was worth it. Believe it or not, that will be as essential in your future career as anything you picked up here at Lehigh. Oh, and your basketball coach for your 4 years at Lehigh, Muffet McGraw, she will go on to become one of the greatest coaches in women's college basketball history. You picked up valuable advice from her along the way, like be your best, not just when it counts, but in ordinary moments. That advice later will help you prioritize people over tasks and keep calm amid the chaos and adapt. Of course, academics also played a major role in your time over the last 4 years. You learned what you don't like, Fortran programming class, and what you do like, business and accounting. Thank goodness you took the advice of a professor to give the business school at Lehigh a try. If you knew in this moment what I know now, you would be even happier with your choice to change majors. In fact, you will later tell your teenage daughter that success is about finding what you're good at and running with it. Today, as you look forward to your professional career, you are so excited. Congratulations on starting your career with Deloitte. While you are unsure of what to expect, worried about being at the bottom of the totem pole again, and nervous of challenges you will face both personally and professionally, you are about to embark on an amazing journey. The good news? You make it through just fine, but there will be bumps along the way. My best advice to you in this moment as I look back, remember that how you respond during the challenging times really defines who you are. Some of these challenging times turn into the best growth opportunities, It might not feel that way, but stay strong and you will succeed. I am sorry to tell you that one of the most challenging times is coming within the next year, when in 1987, Dad passes away after a short battle with cancer at the young age of 51. It may sound like a cliche, but be sure to make every moment count now. You won't regret it. This is going to be hard, and there's not much I can say to prepare you. You will get through with the help of your family and the support you offer them, and you will see more than ever how your dad shaped you. You will know that he's right there with you 2 weeks later when you take and pass the CPA exam, and he will be with you the rest of the way. As you advance through your career, you will also learn about new topics and techniques and lessons you would never expect to. And no, I'm not talking about the transition from using pencil and paper to a typewriter to the computer, laptop, tablet, smartphone, and 24/7 email. You will learn about social media, Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram by your own children. And now I have to ask them about Vine. One of the toughest career moments will be when, after 12 years, you move to a new group at Deloitte called Capital Markets to work alongside technical gurus for derivatives and complex financial instruments. At one point, a partner in the group will say to you, "We don't need you. We've got this covered." You will think you have made a huge mistake, but be confident. Take the risk and stay with it. Always evolve and differentiate yourself. You will persevere, new rules will come out, and no one will be able to compete with you on that. Suddenly, you will be in hot demand as a subject matter expert, and the role will actually turn out to be a platform by which you will be able to develop a very large network. Along your journey, you will also meet your husband and start a family. Remember that daughter I mentioned earlier? You'll have a son too. Work hard to achieve harmony between work and life. It won't be easy. This goes back to the value of learning to balance your time at Lehigh. One of the most pivotal moments as you learn to achieve balance happens when you are coaching your daughter's middle school basketball team. You will leave work at a reasonable hour, go home, coach, have dinner with the family after, boot up your computer and start working again, responding to emails at 10 o'clock at night. Even though you took a break, people will think you're always working. Be careful. You are a role model, and you establish others' perspectives of the expectation of what a professional career looks like. A colleague you don't even know will say that she does not want to be like you when she leaves the firm. Be cognizant during that time. It is one of your clearest role model moments, and it will further cement your leadership style going forward, one focused on supporting the colleagues around you and your own well-being. After many years in the business, all with the same company, if you can believe that, you will get one of the greatest honors of your career. You will be elected CEO. The Wall Street Journal will say you not only broke but shattered the glass ceiling. You won't believe it. Of course, it will feel like a milestone moment to you, but the conversation will continue much longer than you anticipated. While you are stunned how many people begin a conversation with, "What's it like to be a female CEO?" so many women and men will find energy and encouragement in your success. You'll be surprised by the letters you receive from strangers. Reflect on the inspiration and use it to help others rise to the top. And focus on what matters beyond work, because when the tough days come, and they will, that is how you will get your strength. And guess what? In 2018, you'll be standing right up there on stage giving the commencement address during Lehigh's 150th commencement. Not in a million years would you have believed that. Overall, you will learn along your journey that life does not always go in a straight line. You need to raise your hand, try new things, and you cannot fear failure. If you fail, you need to get up and try again. And always remember, as Winston Churchill once said, success is not final. Failure is not fatal. it is the courage to continue that counts. Enjoy the journey. It's a great one. All my best, Kathy. Now I ask you, 2018 graduates, what will your letter to your younger self include when you look back on this day? They will all be different because your paths will be different. Find excitement and strength in that, and know that your time here at Lehigh University has given you all the right tools for success. They said it in my day, and they still say it today. Lehigh students are some of the most well-rounded students out there. In fact, it's right in your vision statement. Lehigh prepares graduates to engage with the world and lead lives with meaning. So, what will be your path to prominence? Remember the 3 lessons. Do what hasn't been done, schedule your personal updates, and stay anchored on what matters to you most. I look forward to seeing what the future holds for each of you. Congratulations, class of 2018, and go Engineers, I mean Mountain Hawks. Go Lehigh. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy, for that inspiring message. We now come to the primary reason we are here, the conferring of degrees earned during the past academic year. All degrees conferred today are awarded upon the recommendation of the faculty with the approval of the Board of Trustees of Lehigh University. Will Patrick Farrell, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, please join me.
We will recognize each candidate by reading his or her name. We respectfully request that all candidates remain in their seats until called upon and return to their seats after being individually recognized. Thank you in advance for your cooperation. I now recognize Donald E. Hall, the Herbert J. and Ann L. Siegel Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences.
Thank you, Provost Farrell, and thank you, Lehigh University, for the 7 wonderful years I've spent here. I'll now present the degree candidates for the College of Arts and Sciences. Will the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the College of Arts and Sciences please rise? President Simon, each of these candidates has completed the requirements for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in a field of specialization, and upon the recommendation of the faculty and by vote of the Board of Trustees, is presented to you to receive that degree.
Candidates, I confer upon each of you the degree of Doctor of Philosophy with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
Please join me in congratulating them with a hearty round of applause. I will now present the candidates for master's degrees in the College of Arts and Sciences. Will the candidates for the degrees of Master of Arts and Master of Science please rise? President Simon, each of these candidates has completed the requirements for the master's degree in a field of specialization, and upon recommendation of the faculty and by vote of the Board of Trustees, is presented to you to receive that degree.
Candidates, I confer upon each of you the degree of Master of Arts or Master of Science with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
Please recognize these candidates with your applause. Now, will the candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science in the College of Arts and Sciences please rise? President Simon, each of these candidates has completed the requirements for graduation and upon recommendation of the faculty and by vote of the Board of Trustees is presented to you to receive the degree of Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Sciences.
Candidates, I confer upon each of you the degree of Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
Please recognize our bachelor's candidates with a hearty round of applause. The ushers will now invite the degree candidates from the College of Arts and Sciences forward to be individually recognized.
Following graduates are receiving a doctorate level degree. Troy Dwayne Harmon.
Stephen Thomas Scherer.
Wade B. Linebaugh.
Natasha O. Thala.
The following graduates are receiving a master's level degree. Catherine Marie Liza.
Nathan Edward Weed.
Devin Anthony Carter.
Amanda Joan Renning.
Miles Jamal Davis.
Margaret Rose Norseworthy.
Jessica Lynn Hollister.
Frangie Pozo.
Megan N. Hudak.
Cynthia Lisseth Pando.
Victoria Vallejo Kelly.
Emily Ray Rubright. Austin Alexander Toth. Elise Catherine Wolf. Bowen Wang. Ken Cheng Wei. Chi Draw. Candace Marilyn Weigel. Margaret Ann Wilson. Jessica L. Weaver.
The following graduates are receiving a bachelor's level degree. Matthew William Anthony.
Veronica Devon McKinney.
Jocelyn Nomi Gregoria Alarcon.
Lauren Pauline Miller.
Adam Joseph Sveztek.
Rachel Margruff.
Tyler Peter Sorelli.
Julia Marie Nelson.
Adam Gregory Brodkin.
John Miskell.
Austin J. Edwards.
Benjamin James Miller.
Kyle Scott Higgins.
Lindsay Elsie Wilson.
Alec Douglas.
Anna Priggle Hollander.
Gerald Robert Collins.
Samantha Michelle Smith.
Elena Exaris.
Kalyani Singh.
Panagiotos Mirios Christodoulou.
Connor Rowan Mobley Reeder.
Sarah Yenny Anderson.
Anthony Frank Musica.
Christian Dwayne Halegas.
Andrew Michael Truman.
Jerome Fratello.
Taja Sveni.
Mason
Not coming.
Tom Chin.
Daisy Ye.
George Kenyon Carpenter.
Alexandra Madison.
Chu Yi Fan.
Rebecca Lynn Wilkin.
Jadi Tsai.
Claudia Jeswinska.
Haley Rose Goodman.
Emma Rose Strong.
Jack Robert Castanguay.
Izzy Lynn Rosemary Stroker.
Sydney Emily Bornstein.
Kyle Mansley.
Juwan Royal.
Albert Schwartz.
Gilligan James Greenlow.
Jason Pollock.
Kelly Renee Jacob.
William Slattery.
Zachary Juan Hill.
Sasha Nicole Rubman.
Nicole Alexandra Lando.
Lily Rebecca Zakin.
Allison Page Dufault.
Astrid Marcus Phillipson.
Brianne Ellen Barker.
Emily Lynn Sauer.
Ezekiel Joseph Louis Sepero,
Sydney Otapi.
Patrick Brian Clark,
Renasia Scott.
John Howard Gulick,
Tara Letty Sabarawal.
Ryan Judge,
Nicole Fontini Nestor.
Yina Kim,
Madeline Sechrist Minor.
Christy Shaljun Lee,
Catherine B. Wexler.
Yasmin Nicole Guillermon,
Victoria Renee Rickles.
Charlie Liu,
Brittany Ann Knockomson.
Simon Liu,
Ashley Ijoma Omoma.
Lauren E. DiNapoli,
Quincy Kimiko Mann.
Christine Natalia Lenchor,
Nico Francesco Munley.
Havana Rose Blyle,
Mark Anthony Ray Raymond Jr.
Natasha von Striepen,
Hobson R. McCain.
Brandon Alexander Diaz,
Tyler James Stubbs.
Christopher Luke Fisher,
Troy Pelletier.
Chelsea Marie Hipwell,
Karan Ross.
Casey Francis Bogar,
Kian Olo JD.
Dabney Bryce,
Austin Taylor.
Rachel Ellie Chernov,
Katie Marie Morris.
Sasha Nicole Clark,
Katsumasa Ueno.
Nadine L. El Sayed,
Suraj Vasant Patel.
Audrey Catherine Hla,
Cole Alexander Marr.
Allison Bridget Kelleher,
Faye Donnell McMahon.
Carolyn Elizabeth Kelleher,
Barbara Efthimata Sausis.
Matthew Grant Enslin,
Daniel Patracola.
Quinn A. Furnald,
Uva Paul Ojeni.
Rafael A. Fernandez,
Sabrina Nicole Schumann.
Emily A. Horowitz,
Danielle Rebecca Schwartz.
Kendall Nicole Jacobus,
Jamie Elise Tills.
Hannah Carolyn Swinkala,
Julia M. Radusik.
Bergen Iris Kassoff,
Danica M. Marzilier.
Dana Pearl Dabrowski,
Samantha Erica Scasia.
Lee Rachel Fendrick,
Caitlin Marge Teduski.
Jared S. Deshevsky,
Paik Bennett Shelton.
Robert Wyatt Golej,
Carl Solomon Portnoy.
Larissa Ann Kosha,
Jamie Allison Weisler.
Alyssa Johanna Landau,
Willa Charlotte Perlman.
Wade Allen Belair,
Drew Paulson.
Gatlin Thomas Casey,
Julianne Elizabeth Nolte.
Haley Wenzel,
Sarah Elizabeth Moran.
Alexis C.I. King,
William J. Trost.
Rachel Abramowitz,
Erin Henry Telsler.
Samantha Page Lerner,
Teresa Catherine Writing.
Juliana Di Maria,
Madeline Sinclair Sands.
Peter Joseph Gormley,
Elizabeth A. Nussbaum.
Ava Jacqueline Bertone,
Emma Stevenson.
Danielle Nicole Campbell,
Tiffany Joy Sahadi.
Michael R. Camara,
Michaelina Martins.
Leah DeJean Dickens,
Dana Jean Waxenberg.
Cassandra LaJonis,
Lauren Elizabeth Schlegel.
Megan Beatrice Sue,
Megan Michelle Riley.
Yangtze Liu,
Shelby Lee Merberg.
Wei Tao Chen,
Emily Mary Pavlik Okepi.
Sarah Kothari,
Tuan Pham.
Bhumi Bhutani,
Jingru Kin.
Julia Marley Hayden,
Samantha Lynn Randall.
Marlena Audrey Bosch,
Patrick Watkins Riley.
Stacy Lisa Denbaum,
Matthew Tadaro.
Emily Ann Ward,
Robert William Soleil.
Kristen Marie Janasek,
Garrett Thomas Santini.
Lauren Teresa Janasek,
Keegan James O'Keefe.
Sabrina May Bordosh,
Reagan Elizabeth Miller.
Elizabeth Simone Litt,
Abigail Littner Thompson.
Peter Ban Chow,
Abigail Joy Sherino.
Danielle E. Betterman,
Chin Lee Ma.
Jordan Elizabeth Hayes,
Yuhan Taeyan.
Charles Pritchard Austin.
Dual Show.
Sophie Morgan Davis.
Max Lauren Rosenbaum.
Casey Jo Helen Farmer.
Eamon Zane.
Alana Catherine Candido.
Abby Schneider.
Jonathan Golden Bain.
Evan Lewis Riddell.
Grant Henry Loescher.
Julia Washburn.
Sarah Grace Boyle.
Alex Aracino.
Emily A. Hansen.
Rebecca Ann Sherry. Emily Steekel.
Lauren Lundell.
Catherine Alexandra Wu.
Lauren Faith Adams.
Jasmine Catherine Turnbull.
Ryan Christopher Grace.
Tyler Megan Scanlon.
William Donovan Brown.
Catherine Lee Peterson.
Kiersey Balas.
Samantha Rose Silverman.
Kimberly Elizabeth Crosta.
Danielle Christine Rucci.
Matthew Peter Corzin.
Emily Rafalski.
Naomi Eve Albinder.
Catherine Ann Manthorpe.
Matthew Ryan Levin.
Jennifer Tamani.
Michael Chavkin.
Ingrid Isabella Ramales Ramirez.
Ann Wu Henry.
Maricruz Zavala Salas.
Josh Heisler.
Garrett Staley.
Carlos Manuel Castell Croak.
Julia Watanabe Trapagan.
Caitlin Nicole Barr.
Sarah Post Stern.
Carter Constable Hartman.
Idowu Olubade.
Stephen Jam Imburgio.
Kitanon Siror Ratatayan.
Jean Denise Esporte.
Yuning Zhang.
Jeremy Ben Glennon.
Anna Rose Simono.
Alexander Lloyd Schlegel.
Ryan Patrick Wheeler.
Marissa Celia Silver Cannon.
Ian Carl Spolarich.
Madison Danielle Silver Cannon.
Christelle Saloom.
Juliet Chung.
Andrea Pacheco Diaz.
Lauren Ann Graves.
Susan Zia.
Kevin James Klinkenberg.
Anastasia Perevenetu.
Nicholas Jewell.
Marilyn Margaret Santos.
Andreas Lockler.
Georgia Kathleen Weaver.
Nadia Rose El Arian.
Ellen Celeste Chaff.
Ryan J. Lofthouse.
Faye Erica Grace Shepard.
Jesse A. Brill.
Alice Regina Wilson.
Rebecca Eleanor Jones.
Drake Alexander Van Egdom.
James Fraser.
Yang Ching Young.
Bilal Essen Ali.
Juliana Nicole Young.
Robert H. Casimore.
Rebecca Harrison Muller.
Ella Rose Harrington.
Divya Sidesh Pade.
Brooke Nicole Bartels.
Thune Hughes.
Jason Ross Isaacs.
Ishwarya Suresh.
Maz Halim.
Joshua Michael Witten.
Christopher John Geisler.
Michael Joseph Oldenburg.
David Ebomielen.
Christopher Ray Meinert.
Paul Bang.
Rachel Marie Timberman.
Yoonjung Choi.
Nicole Ann Yazo.
Jordan Bear.
Lindsay Rose Phillips.
Martha Luz Villegas Soto.
Alexandra Lucille Meese.
Rimmer DeVries.
Caitlin Allison Schultz.
Quentin Donald Jones.
Taryn Haley Samet.
Allison Mary Bergen.
Obina Didakis Bethrand Okawuchukwu.
Mudasir Kadri.
Alexander J. Van Heest.
Robert Anthony Axelson.
Thomas James Golden. Catherine Elizabeth Phillips. Tuo Onvo. Callie Rose Tofert. Emily Rose Sire. Alexander Spezio. Danny Yelakany, Madison Urim, Drew Douglas Nielsen, Samantha Catherine Hyatt Shorus, Sherry Ann Weiss, Brianna Brooke Marovich, Darcy Marmolejo, Alexis Kathy Wright, Alexander Leo Zuloff,
I now recognize Georgette Chapman Phillips, the Kevin L. Clayton and Lisa A. Clayton, Dean of the College of Business and Economics.
Thank you, Provost Farrell. Will the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy from the College of Business and Economics please rise? A representative sample. There you go. President Simon, each of these candidates has completed the requirements for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in a field of specialization upon recommendation of the faculty and by vote of the Board of Trustees is presented to you to receive that degree.
Candidates, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Philosophy with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
Please recognize the Doctors of Philosophy with hearty congratulations and applause. I will now present the candidates for the master's degree in a College of Business and Economics. Will the candidates for the degrees of Masters of Business Administration, Masters of Science in Management, Master of Science in Economics, Master of Science in Applied Economics, and Master of Science in Accounting and Information Analysis, please rise. President Simon, each of these candidates has completed the requirements for the master's degree in the field of specialization, and upon the recommendation of the faculty and by vote of the Board of Trustees, is presented to you to receive that degree.
Candidates, I confer upon each of you the degree of Masters of Business Administration, Masters of Science in Management, Master of Science in Economics, Master of Science in Applied Economics, or Master of Science in Accounting and Information Analysis, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
Please recognize the master's degree recipients with our hearty congratulations and applause. Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Business and Economics please rise? President Simon, each of these candidates has completed the requirements for graduation, including cost accounting, and upon recommendation of the faculty and by vote of the Board of Trustees, is presented to you to receive the degree of Bachelors of Science in Business and Economics.
Candidates, I confer upon each of you the degree of Bachelor of Science in Business and Economics, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
Please recognize the Bachelor of Science degree recipients with our hearty congratulations and applause. The ushers will now invite the degree candidates from the College of Business and Economics forward to be individually recognized.
We're ready to go. The following graduates are receiving a master's level degree. Sydney Alana Glenn.
Brian Julian Marchini.
Ellen Spencer Hauk.
Molly Megan Maher.
Sarah Elizabeth Cole.
Abhishek Vishal Mehta.
Zachary John Duffy.
James Michael Morin.
Drew Alexander Lango.
Nayan Jyoti Patak.
Kevin James Fine.
Allison Bridget Young.
Linda Chen.
Scott Robert Siegfried.
Christina Clerk.
Danielle Patrick Zangi.
Ya La Ta Sang Rus Boat.
Sean Michael Ridgetts.
Lindsay Michelle Sokol.
Michael David Morris.
Aliyah Kukayev.
Elizabeth Lori Tumonios.
Yudan Dong.
Robert V. Walters Jr.
Amy Louise Balil.
Daniel Sean Williamson.
Matthew Booth.
Suzanne Patricia Czar.
Marissa Ann Caniano.
Xiao Nan Zhang.
Alexandra Kelly Chorney.
Chang Sun.
Jebin Gautam.
Lisa Nicole Ulker.
Alexander Theodore Erlanzen.
Allison Chloe Starrer.
Mehul Nikish Gandhi.
Brandon Allen Short.
Chen Huang.
Zihan Wang.
Chang Huang.
Hua Shu Xu.
Jun Woo Kim.
Bishwash Pokral.
Varun Gantal.
Reza Najaf Ziada.
Jack Curran.
Samuel O'Neill.
Rachel Helena Spielholtz.
Karim Rizeki.
Ann Beatrix Birkenmeyer.
Madison Lynn White.
Ryan Paul Lewis.
Shuo Zheng.
Brandon Howard Dim.
Ryan Matthew Mann.
William Wood Kane. That's Matt. Rami Hani Curry. Mitchell Kislin. Harry Lindenmuth.
All masters.
Malavika Jane. Yi Fu Lu. Gao Ji Lin. Ru Min Hu.
Where's Ryan? Okay, you go.
The following graduates are receiving a bachelor's level degree. Mark A. Bushner.
Zoe Taylor Mattis.
Tanner Richard Boos.
Keith Mosher.
Thor Christian Kane.
Cindy Fong.
Arisha Bataya.
Harneil Kaur Rear.
Alexandra Grace Lupinski.
Esther Pack.
Amanda Frances Beggs.
Cynthia Hayun Pai.
Whitney Leigh Krantz.
Ming B. Wen.
Victoria Diane Geyer.
Gabrielle Elizabeth Pomerantz.
Marco Luca Natelio.
Hope Allison Markman.
Foster Matthew Goldberg.
Madison I. Uram.
John J. Cassis.
Emma Rose Resnick.
Riley William Emilio.
Megan Kathleen Rich.
Matthew Abbott Kissel.
Kiran K. Singh.
Gregory Cohen Lynn.
Grace Eileen Roundtree.
Jake Lohman.
Gabriel Psalms.
Druvia Siraj Kansara.
Jamie Manyo Ni.
Juan Pablo Ferrar.
Alexander Whitney Rankin.
Ryan Emery Bache.
Jacob Taylor Tarsioni.
Robert Anthony Axelson.
Scott Michael Muir.
Courtney Ann Fauché.
Eric Joseph Scheid.
Alexandra Leigh Barish.
Kaylee Militza.
Megan J. LaGuardia.
Liam Avery Michaels.
Abigail Thompson Leslie.
Brett Rothberg.
Bridget Ann Harding.
Alexander Victoria Mangino.
Alexandra Elizabeth Cassidy.
Adam Lewis Magnan.
Andy J. Edelson.
Sarah Eleanor Shinatzi.
Ciara Alana Fiol.
Dana Lynn Pitoniak.
Christy Marie Furman.
Emily Lauren Salov.
Bryn Kenny.
Colleen Patricia Waltz.
Yen Kai Shang.
Sangmin Park.
Natalie Renee Grotyuen.
Dongsu Shin.
Farah Alia Emirali.
Zachary James Magwar.
Rachel Emily Gervitz.
Amanda Youngblood.
Steffen Aliopoulos.
Vita Vogue.
Eric Joseph Logeny.
Laura Ashley Parks,
Jack A. Fields,
Rachel Elizabeth Ryder,
Madison Marie Hirsch,
Megan Ann Thompson,
Rachel Haley Fishman,
Julia Elizabeth Perry,
George Benjamin Hervey,
Rocky Perez,
Fairren Lung,
Carly A. Wachtel,
Min Ah Khan,
Caroline Castle Rainey,
Helene Cho,
Nicole M. McCarthy,
Yemin Her,
Alyssa Brittany Mayer,
Kelly Elise Barber,
Megan S. Overby,
Cody Chen Chow,
Sarah Fitzgerald Spring,
Fanny Chen,
Alexis Marie Mims,
Raquel Maria Joven Ponte,
Emily Elizabeth Motola,
Amy Eliana Carcomo,
Kelly Grace Puntoro,
Ah Young Jenny Cho,
Katrina Gabrielle Savon,
Rachel DeJesus Castillo,
Akil Patil,
Faiza D. Nutali,
Ta Tutsuya,
Harrison Leroy Johnson,
David P. Zipkin,
Richard Jesse Adupoku,
Joseph Wesley Sigenthaler,
Nana Amonwa Aya,
Francis A. Rossetti,
Alex James Castellano,
Laura Yer,
Robert Mayhart Evans Jr.,
Jacqueline N. Renda,
Kelly Michelle Bennett,
Alyssa Erin Reporty,
Rebecca Leigh Halowinka,
Shanice N. Marrow,
Jordan LaFara,
Madison Presley Marshall,
Alex Glickman,
Daniel Nicole Margolis,
Ryan F. Farfan,
Andrew M. Walker,
Justin Georgiades,
Trevor James Moore,
Jasmine Kim,
Michael James Palestri,
John Ralph DeLone,
Sean Joseph Ream,
Kuri Nu Filu Pei,
Michael James Rich,
Angelica Bernal Torres,
Cooper J. Parks,
Alan Chan,
Kristen Haley Olson,
Za Nay,
Lauren Michelle Posh,
James Jerry Davis,
Allison Bauer Nessel,
Aliyah Georgian Chin,
Emily Kate McCown,
Shinyi Chen,
Caitlin Ann Smith,
Dese Kong,
Rachel A. Zamsky,
Nelson Taylor Blickman,
Alexandra Michelle Marcilla,
William Crawford Anderson,
Kate Mackenzie Nalavanko,
Michelle Allison Gorson,
Lauren Mackenzie Richards,
Danielle Holly Donadio,
Rebecca Trofa,
Michelle Ann Provato,
Margaret Kylie Taylor,
Molly Margaret Bancuti,
Alexandra Grace Whitehouse,
Sydney Rachel Gelb,
Leah Carmel Sagiv Reyes,
Caitlin Elizabeth Emery,
John Luke Mantikas,
Melanie Ann Grayken,
David Isaac Paikin,
Catherine Grace Hyde,
Anastasios Nikos Thermos,
Megan Elizabeth Burke,
William Frederick McCurdy,
Kevin Michael Kenna,
Jamie Doran Weisfeldner,
John Patrick Foley,
Max Rory Mastbaum,
John Leonard Mahak,
Leonard Graham Otto,
Brady Lee Thompson,
Perry J. Rubenstein,
Matthew Walker Ernst,
Jordan J. Shokrian,
Nolan Apers,
Ethan Coty Schneider,
Megan Ide,
Elizabeth S. Nebbins,
Oika Ellen Baugen,
Bianca Taylor Simpson,
Emily Sarah Goldenberg,
Allison Sylvion,
Abigail Elizabeth Duddy,
Madison Brooke Williams,
John Sheridan Duddy,
Daniel Ryan Shore,
Ann Morrow Finney,
Ian P. Smith,
Catherine Cassidy Kleinman,
Jonathan Spencer Marota,
Alexandra Marie Cirilla,
Dan Joel Rappaport,
Emma Brewster Hallett,
Jared Charles Zahn,
Spencer Tileman Lehrer.
Evan Gregory Scott.
Robert Matthew Greenspan.
Andrew Casella Newman.
Reed Matthew Karp.
Alexandra Mina Rivdish.
Jacob Russell Barry.
Mimi Ulaha Swenton.
Peter Robert Daly.
Mariangelica Vargas.
James Alo Wishus.
Joanna Targowski.
Avery Dan Hogue.
Jonathan Michael Pertuz.
Zachary Evan Davis.
Brianna Gautana Riggs.
Matthew John Timoshenko.
Carolyn May Wright.
Brendan M. Craven.
Richard James Stepp.
Kelly Grace McBrayer Airty.
Daniel Moncada.
Kirsten Voro.
Ziang Ki.
Nikita Ravandra Joshi.
Yo-Yo Wu.
Alexis Cheng.
Kang Zhu.
Gracie Daly Corell.
Yujan Song.
Alexandra Kirsten Lang.
Taji Zhu Tai.
Jonathan Fitz.
Bintong Ki.
Terror PLC Knowles.
Junia Shen.
Matthew Walter Kuzemchek.
Yiying Yang.
James Stephen Blemming.
Ki Zhang.
Kirsten Rose Labely.
Yutang Zhu.
Amanda Grace Fisher.
Ann Nu Feng.
Jennifer Kathleen Burke.
Juan Alfonso Yap. Matthew Schonberg.
Bernadette Teresa Devaney.
Catherine Avery Williges.
Tyler James Covanus.
Griffith Dale Schlicki-Ya.
Justin Michael Gill.
John Gavin Zurlini.
Daniel C. Heckman.
Jack Sinclair Peterson.
Andrea Paola Delgado.
Gordon Brett Wolf.
Devin Alexis Hinkle.
Matt Ratner.
Gabriella Siren.
Bradley Noble Smith.
Christina Aoyoung.
Tim O'Hara.
Kirsten Godin.
Matt Joseph Unangst.
Matthew Case Dugan.
Salome Estefania Medina.
Michael Winston Holland.
Anthony Joseph Trapani.
Tashi Bodie Eng.
Salvatore Moro.
Blaze Johnson.
Eric Morton Scott.
Matthew James Donahue.
Uyemi Samuel Yuko.
Ella Ray DePippo.
Michael Wong.
Morgan Freda Citron.
Gerald Thomas Welch.
Carolyn Marie Eichhorn.
J. Dylan Palamedes.
Elise Nicole Fredericks. Sabrina Catherine Lee. Samuel Jacob Foreman. Samuel D. Henning. Jeffrey A. Gu. Cynthia Hope Chang. Matthew Michael Firestone. Kyle James Hayes. Michelle Jenny Iskandar. Taylor Philip Hosbach. Matthew Michael Lambert. Daniel Korab. Ari Jane Goret. Miranda Veronica D'Accordo. Elizabeth Flynn. Talia Ariel Cooper. Mallory Ilana Burstein. Sarah Caitlin Estero. Alessandra Esposito. Taylor R. Aro. Cassandra Lynn Fiore. Blake A. Lieberman. Alexis Lindsay Haggart. Sarah Marie Hoyne. Emily Ann Birch. Madeline Noel Dude. Jordan Elizabeth Legas. Drew Felix Greenberg. Ross Benjamin Koretsky. Roman A. Brown. Aaron J. Gray. Ian Maxwell Davis. Jared Isaac Horowitz. Andrew Ryan Coopersmith. A. Wyatt Friedman. Sangjun Chung. William Oscar Lamont V. Louis Daniel Gottlieb, Tyler Lucas Lesner, Robert Andrew Bernard, Nicole Marie Behaney, Nea Buxketa, Tamara Johnson.
What's that? Can you read the next three? Yeah. Oh. Oscar J. Gomez. Tristan Alex Heffler. Marissa Gail Diamond. Janie Gualtieri. Drahana Jari. Hayden Elizabeth Husto. Leah Elizabeth Knotts. Maxwell Joseph Crooks. Robert Kenneth Keene. Margaret Claire Herndon. Alessandra Galhardi. John Graham Lay. Christopher Philip Dollar. John Bartlett Littlefield. And Maxim William Beard. We're good. Yeah.
I now recognize Gary M. Sasso, Dean of the College of Education.
Thank you, Provost Farrell. I will now present the degree candidates for the College of Education. Will the candidates for the degrees of Doctor of Education and Doctor of Philosophy please rise? President Simon, each of these candidates has completed the requirements for the degree of Doctor of Education or Doctor of Philosophy in a field of specialization, and upon recommendation of the faculty and by vote of the Board of Trustees, is presented to you to receive that degree.
Candidates, I confer upon each of you the degree of Doctor of Education or Doctor of Philosophy with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
Please recognize the Doctors of Education and Doctors of Philosophy with our hearty congratulations and applause. Will the candidates for the degree of Educational Specialist, Master of Education, and Master of Science please rise? President Simon, each of these candidates has completed the requirements for Educational Specialist or the Master's degree in a field of specialization, and upon the recommendation of the faculty and by vote of the Board of Trustees, is presented to you to receive that degree.
Candidates, I confer upon each of you the degree of Educational Specialist, Master of Education, or Master of Science with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
Please recognize the Educational Specialist and Master's degree recipients with our hearty congratulations and applause. The ushers will now bring the degree candidates from the College of Education forward to be individually recognized.
Graduates are receiving a doctoral level degree. Patrina Maria Davidson. Sam Peter Edward Hopp.
Julia Leonhardt Oltman. Dwayne Edward Wallace. The following graduates are receiving an Educational Specialist or Master's level degree.
Rakma Bakoko.
Teresa C. Matthews.
Lauren Rebecca Bewick.
Heidi Charlotte Meisner.
Mary Jo Brown.
Angela Rose Merrill.
Heather Elizabeth Bunn.
Sogik Midjolan.
Alicia E. Criazzo.
Christina Marie Nava.
Kendall Madison Dimash Fagan.
Carissa Madeira Knoll.
Catherine Lynn Eckhart.
Satri.
Sarah Elizabeth Evans.
Seher Shafi.
Akit Tyler Christopher Faulkner.
Amber Dawn Schiffer.
Jessica Ann Philippek.
Molly Hannah Schoenfeld.
Daniel Job Garcia.
Rose Mary Posque.
Sophia Johnston Goodfellow.
Anthony Michael Vanelli.
John Wesley Grigg III.
Joseph Walsh.
Malika Hannah Gutierrez.
Caitlin Francis O'Leary.
Patricia May Halpin.
Eden Harold Weinflash.
Victoria Lynn Intera.
Adrian Marie Chudnowski.
Hannah Catherine Joyce.
Brenna Elizabeth Clark.
John Robert Kazmarek.
Mitchell Dylan Thomas.
Nicole Francis Jacobson.
Emily Polefka.
Edward Darren Cagle.
Timothy Matthias Smith.
Tashina Lanai Khabaz.
Alexander Bryant Specht.
Sarah Mohamadulu.
Claire Catherine Sorovi.
Patricia Mulroney Croft.
Lindsay Elizabeth Wisser.
Julia Lastly.
Lindsay Marine Gambocorta.
Matthew D. Lewis.
Lauren Patricia Ragone.
Evangeline Lee.
Morgan Nelson.
Maggie Andrick.
Annalisa Smithson.
Stephanie Nicole Hagan.
Cleopat Paulvin.
Joelle Marie Harrington.
Estella Valera. Alexandra Marthin Mahalski. Daniel A. Peak.
I now recognize Stephen DeWorth, Dean of the P.C. Rossin College of Engineering and Applied Science.
I will now present the degree candidates for the P.C. Rossin College of Engineering and Applied Science. Will the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the P.C. Rossin College please rise? President Simon, each of these candidates has completed the requirements for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in a field of specialization, and upon the recommendation of the faculty and by a vote of the Board of Trustees is presented to you to receive that degree.
Candidates, I confer upon each of you the degree of Doctor of Philosophy with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
Please recognize the Doctors of Philosophy with our hearty congratulations and applause. I will now present the candidates for master's degrees in the P.C. Rossin College. Will the candidates for the degree of Master of Engineering and Master of Science please rise? President Simon, each of these candidates has completed the requirements for the master's degree in a field of specialization, and upon the recommendation of the faculty and by a vote of the Board of Trustees, is presented to you to receive that degree.
Candidates, I confer upon each of you the degree of Master of Engineering or Master of Science, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
Please recognize the master's degree recipients with our hearty congratulations and applause. Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in the various fields of engineering and applied science please rise? President Simon, each of these candidates has completed all of the requirements for graduation, and upon the recommendation of the faculty and by a vote of the Board of Trustees, is presented to you to receive the degree of Bachelor of Science in that field of engineering and applied science for which the candidate has qualified.
Candidates, I confer upon each of you the degree of Bachelor of Science in the field of engineering and applied science for which you have qualified with all of the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
Please recognize the Bachelor of Science degree recipients with our hearty congratulations and applause. The ushers will now invite the degree candidates from the P.C. Rossin College of Engineering and Applied Science forward to be individually recognized.
The following graduates are receiving a doctorate level degree. Chot In Tawang,
Jacob Bruce Patterson,
Zhao Long Kwang,
Georgie Pavlov,
Yan Hee Hu,
John Edward Palmieri,
Shin Chu,
Parth Pradhan,
Yu Wee Sui,
Kasim Ranja,
Jonathan P. Galler,
Stephen Noel Rodriguez,
Robert Joseph Hamlin,
Kwame Sanan Afanana Sedzro,
Rojin Hajian,
Wen Tao Shi,
Hao Huang,
Xiang Chao Wang,
Yan Wang. The following graduates are receiving a master's level degree. Alexander George Abel,
Xu Ji Wen,
Sahil Arora,
Chu Tao Yang,
Rashid Arora,
Christopher Massey,
Stephen Michael Barr,
Isaac Wellish,
Wenhan Sui,
Grady Michael Barth,
Deep DC Desai,
Marlana Saranak,
Jared Find,
David Joseph Pulsifer,
Nahir Dechipande,
Thomas Ali Vardi,
Curran Makaran Dixit,
Julian De Arzio,
Jonah Dutch,
Jonathan Maley,
Jack Odell Edgerton,
Teresa Castillo Donosa,
Zachary Kevin Farley,
Angela Yates,
Divyesh Mahendra Gawad,
Whitney Lai,
Makesh Gag,
Shandong Peng,
Manthan Kotari,
Shishi Zhao,
Devika Gupta,
Yu Cheng Zhao,
Shebha Sanjay Havaldar,
Yuhu,
Zara Ali Ahmad,
Shaw Tin Do,
Daniel John Haight IV,
Yao Ho Ho,
Lance A. Hummel,
Kin Su Gu,
Tanya S. Johnson,
Bo Long Shong,
Sakin Joshi,
Xu Ti Chong Yan,
Urwang Lee,
Waina Wang,
Lu Liu,
Yang Li Zhong,
Michael Elias Embeck,
Tao Zhang,
Emil Wady Behu,
Tianzi Wang,
Joachim Kofi Amoa,
Jesu Wang,
Scott Dimitri Grant,
Wailan Yao,
Davis Bryce,
Yan Wang,
Olivia Haley,
Yu Jun Chan,
Christopher Harrison Irwin,
Wan Ting Zhang,
Joseph Anthony Lucia,
Zeyuan Tian,
Robert Joseph Bruns, Dominic Caparella, Kate Wallace Kozer, Erin Lee Ball, Colin Bader, Timothy H. Burkholder, Maskana Adewale Adejuman, James Joseph Graber, Maria Okola De Cohen, Byron Dinas, Benjamin Chin, Kane Matthew Kaharik, John Edward Enrique Rogers, Megan Christine Kozar, Ian Edward Haney, Sweta Korat, Yu Bao, Tang Huang, Hanzang Liu, Violet Gaby Hayek, Raquel Alexandra Doherty, Joshua Joseph Koshi, Roger Samuel Blumen, Nicholas Glass Hardenberg, Ricardo Alfonso Alvarez, Alireza Famili, Osama Mohammed Kayat, Marjan Farabors, Alia Amer, Jae Kung Du, Siri Lee, Guanji Lu, Hanlin Fu, Lei Li, Yanchen Feng, Zhang Guao, Qingkai Fan, Hansen Wang, Yu Han, Nan Lin, Dohan Han, Zanhao Chen, Huanshen Chen.
Kayur M. Patel, Nicholas Matthias Rockwell, Joseph Palumbo.
The following graduates are receiving a bachelor's level degree.
No, these are.
Ryan Biggins,
These are still master's degrees, Master of Science. Benjamin Raymond Munt, Genevieve Gray Schaefer, Michelle Mazzo, Xiaolong Wang, Bo Tian, Jacob Alexander Warren, Trias Mary, Boxwan Yuang, Xiaori Zhang, Trunyang Zhou, Joseph John Parada III, Corey William Smith, Michael A. Tennant, Nicholas Benjamin Reese, Kyle James Root, Amanda Lee Sullivan, Nicholas Edward Swank, Gorgi Shu, Ananth Samadrala, Rohan Akla Shah, Matthew Thomas Warner, Eric Richard Stositz, Clinton C. Nowendo, Arachalam Subramanian, Anshul Sharma, Nitat Rumshan Pandi, Diwakar Prasad, Rohit Takari, Yashodan Vag, Ashiko Pandirikal Shaji, Yash Rohit Samani, Elise Robin Stevens, Amir Ali Gaoshenyan, Daniel N. Pais, Yailun Wu, Hao Yu Wang, Zuri Peng, Lai Ming Zhang, Hei Yun, Hui Wao, Guan Yang, Jin Yun Zhou, Kumar Swagat, Samar Siddharth Patak.
The following graduates are receiving a bachelor's level degree. Michaela Jane Blodgett,
Kyle Robert Malik,
Jennifer M. Berker,
Lena Contini McDonald,
Emilio Aurelio Sampson,
Jack Wade McDermott,
Timothy James Barrell,
Andrea Elizabeth Sisinski,
Andrew David Borgeson,
Phoebe Catherine Wager,
Divya Digant Joshi,
Athanasia Chiliari,
Daniel H. Altman,
Ahmad Maroof,
Richard Morgan Berry,
Brian Anthony Pizzuti,
Peter R. Brady III,
Komel Merchant,
Rebecca Maley Hildebrand,
Bai Yu Shang,
Brian Beck,
Joshua Toth,
John Chandler Klein,
Tori Masara.
Sarah Alva.
Rana Neshuat.
Megan Elise Bachik.
Brandon Anthony Merluccio.
Caitlin Jean Backer.
Colin James Messix.
Evan Joshua Bache.
Nicholas T. Saya.
Ryan Bradford Cole.
Thomas Patrick Macri.
William Andrew Bickle.
Angela Pham Nguyen.
Samuel George Joinson.
Donald Marshall Posh.
Justin Jennings Landown.
Evan Jack Preddy.
Randy Lee Chase.
Kyle Christian Shipper.
Matthew David Chimera.
Amanda Nicole Slaminski.
Lucas James Dittman.
Jessica Erin Rivera Rincon.
Grant Alexander Dalton.
Juliana Malachin.
Helen Ewan Chamley.
Yuchuan Wong.
John Anthony Galvis.
Jiwa Wong.
Christopher Anthony Bianco.
Bolin Wu.
Mary Hope Coturo.
Shin Yu Shi.
Francesca Jean Chichi Arie.
James Patrick Whitaker.
Amelia Gelka.
Robert Stephen Weaver.
John Keller Ludi.
Juan Diego Shirashi.
Nicholas Andrew Hoffman.
Laru Reed.
Cameron Michael Healy.
Angelica Weislich.
Stephanie Francis Cook.
Gannon Thomas Reichert.
Laura Lynn Barnes.
Thomas P. Murray.
Beth Ann Donnelly.
Rory Alexander McGee Siegel.
Jenna Renee Donnelly.
Charles Mandala.
Tiffany Chai.
Nicholas Davenport Shepitz.
Shane Peter Del Bianco.
Carly Ann Pensamene.
Mark Herndon.
Andrew David Leduc.
John Joseph Lukovich.
Charles Patrick Mulrooney.
Michael Vincent Lussell.
Elizabeth H. Ogilvie.
Andrew Timothy Curtin.
James Robert Michael.
Henry Dopsch.
Evan Stanton Pence.
Henry Wells Daly.
Juan Lucas Pritzker.
Lucas Jude Brown.
Drew Seidel.
Christopher Coyato.
Trina Whiteside.
Donna Leon Shunjay.
Courtney Teresa Lenzo.
Saren Gardberg.
Madison Darby Schenker.
Scott James Dinlan.
Casey Lynn Snyder.
Ethan Artiaga.
Mark Isaac Sensen.
Jason Andrew Conti.
Melissa Jean Milstry.
Claudia Anna Kolonovich.
Hannah Danielle Plaza.
Vikrant Anles Warapi.
Brianna Rose Papp.
Whale Maher Hidar.
Amanda Catherine Ritter.
Gavin Hatfield.
Christopher Justin Safransky.
Magdalena Fanek.
Ashley Marie McKendry.
Caitlin Nora Cole.
David Alexander Morrison.
Jeremy Ahn.
Emma Ray Williamson.
Alexander Rowe Leman.
Matthew Ryan Muti.
Patrick Michael Creamer.
Thomas Wolfgang.
Hi H. Lee.
Christian Thomas Schmidt.
Jeffrey Ross Breitling.
Trevor Burke Sheppy.
Joseph Perone Klein.
Matthew Wen.
Megan Jane Dulmain.
Benjamin Christopher Maurer.
Haley Marguerite Duroff.
John Patrick Manhers.
Maya Elizabeth Butterfield.
Berlin Arthur Sizemore IV.
Jillian Rose Cunha.
Melissa Aaron Zerps.
Teresa A. Colonna.
Daniel Morgan Norris.
William Norman Elliott.
Casey McAdam.
Yu Yan Gao.
Stephanie Lauren Stieber.
Jennifer Elizabeth Dwyer.
Ian Andrew McCartney.
Chandler Rose Coggins.
Eric John Riedemeyer.
Emily Grace Krulik.
Angel Elizabeth Rollo.
Daniel Aiden Gibbs.
Kelly Brianne Symes.
Erin Ann Garrity.
Andre Verdusco.
Casey Trey Brewer.
Carlos Luis Pico.
Jenny Rose Barella.
Christelle Darrison Navizaga.
William Richard Grellis.
Brianna Ruggiero.
James Russell Davy V.
Keith Edward Soriano Runez.
Julianne Teresa Koch.
Myrna Yehia.
Allison Givray.
Ivan Jose Rivera.
James Joseph Chappell.
Amir Mehmet Yilmaz.
Kyle Kirk.
Doyle S. Tuvison.
Andrew Charles Grove.
Adrian Lee Vitello.
Melanie Vincenza Durbin.
Amanda Michelle Stratton.
Andres Samuel Philippe Benratu.
Dean Michael Schaffritz.
Griffin Green.
Emily Ann Speakman.
William Peter Johns.
Megan Lynn Shappert.
Michael Charles Brill.
Peter Moore.
Ryan Thomas Kovacevic.
Michael James Schwab.
John Gabriel Cho.
John W. Tolbert.
Jacob Kim.
Henry Charles Paul.
Tyler James Burns.
David L. Mugavero.
Dana Lishan Cunningham.
Christopher Pierre Maschetti.
Kaylin Dorinda Kelly.
Jake Sabatini.
Carlos Francisco Chavez.
Ryan Lee Stifel.
Adrian Yannick Antoinette.
Dustin Nguyen.
Tatiana May Kushanek.
Ryan Joseph Argo.
Kier Blount.
Nash Rossi.
Christopher Scott Gukapi.
Lucas Alexander Van Dyke.
Annika Chagravarti.
Rami Khalil Nasrallah.
Gustavo Grinsteins.
Jacob Alexander Nemeth.
Ian Black.
Sean Alexander Nork.
Benjamin Andrew Homblett.
Daniela Paterno.
Daniel Matthew Graef.
Isabel Leila Pasternak.
Siyu Yi Melanie Ching Vera.
Megan Marie Olivola.
Franco Lombardi.
Haley Patricia Pohl.
Ian Andrew Ferguson.
Dana L. Pierce.
Bess Emily Lorman.
Brian K. Nelson.
Alexis Ensley Fairman.
Maxwell Miller.
Tenzin Dedon.
Ryan Preesh.
Amanda Marie Devine.
Mark Adam Quenzel.
Drew L. Howard.
Obadiah Salpeter Odom.
Christy Altadonna.
Kelly Wu.
Erin Ann Akins.
Sherry Ann Murphy.
Megan Peterson Gavey.
Diana Marlin Melendez.
Liam Dow.
Bryce X. Pandolfo.
Timothy Cho.
Patricia Sierra.
Nikunj Dundandaria.
Salvador Joshua Tarun III.
Ibrahim Hashmi.
Edison Go Yugadun.
Nadim Amari.
Shira Mali Morashik.
Matthew Joseph Lucas.
Michael Ernest Chogone.
Hannah Cole Chalk.
Christopher R. O'Byrne.
Catherine Borgeras.
Vincent Paul Rienzi.
Tamara Lalovich.
Nicole Hannah Snyder.
Jane Elizabeth Gunthorne.
Shin Han.
Benjamin Isidore Furman.
Jin Yang Xing.
Nathaniel Paul Fisher.
Buang Zhang.
Eric Michael Duran.
Chu Chin.
Samuel Oliver Fickle.
Sean Yu Wu.
Daniela Marie Fodera.
Jackson Carmichael Viscomi.
Adam Ross Kunkel.
Benjamin Joseph Manning.
Whining Lee.
Vincent McKinley Sheehan.
Jung Ray Liu.
Jack Bradley Wallace.
Ro Ting Lee.
Agunyon Malibek.
Ming Feng Du.
Ramsey Diego Yanez.
Shenjing Hong.
Michael Nicholas Zuno.
Gladys Bukpasi.
Nicole Lynn Palekia.
Lauren Renee Anderson.
Zoe Brooke Rosenberg.
Camden Withrow Fisher.
James Robert Morabito.
Ian Scott Brown.
Brian Robert McCabe.
Michael Thomas Bauer Jr.
James Andrew Waring.
John Calloway Kaufman.
Cole Matthew Tomlinson.
Ryan Albert Hunt.
Shuke Ren.
Michael Gooding.
Yang Yi.
Dylan D. Karsher Sun.
Xiao Han Yin.
Daniela Dunphy.
Sen Yang.
Allison Leanne Frick.
Adam Theodore Rosenwasser.
Grace Caroline Butler.
Ryan Patrick Kirton.
Jacqueline Amaris Brand.
James Christopher Soros.
Cecilia Alfaro.
Evan Rusk Volmond.
Christina Baccarizo.
Ryan R. Rothenberger.
Jacqueline Hildebrandt Mausa.
Trevone Shaquille Sterling Sloan.
Daviga Davella.
Mae Vermish Williams.
Tagawan Ramashiwar Gomanji.
Vibhu Shakali.
Juan Camilo Arbalaz.
Yasmina Maria Sergi.
Maria Alejandra Castro Navarrete.
Emily Deirdre Ryan.
Faith Christine Kamlo.
Peroki Rana.
Leanne Elizabeth Corwin.
Divya Bradish Patel.
Daniel Saurin Dunham.
Prayam Chandra Sakar.
Antonius M. Chrysanthopoulos.
Julia Patterson.
Santana Huck.
Ashoka Singh.
Anthony David Galantini.
Fortuna Faith Saringwa.
Thomas G. Farina.
James Park.
Matthew Ryan Ciolina,
Ross Miller,
Jung K. Chen,
Lisa Ma,
La Zhang Feng,
Jeffrey Nicholas Van der Mark,
Wen Chang Chen,
Thomas Mikalski,
Wan Lun Lee,
Richard N. Pauls,
Jenna V. Wynn,
Christian Joseph Wadsworth,
Jay Glucksman,
Robert Thomas Murray,
Evan Lewis Klein,
Yu Cheng Shi,
Jamie Isaiah Litwiller,
Chu Yi Tong,
Audrey Missel Lanahan, Yin Luo, Yelena Kudrashova, Christian Robert Dietz, Caroline Ruth Kaufman, Kirsten E. Bell, Noelle Elise Jacobson, Marilyn Ann Garito, Matthew Paul Lucente, Mitchell Cole Grohosky, Michael L. Lenhart, Samuel Littman, Jacob Siegel DiCieno, Andrew Robert Brown, Kevin Lawrence Grothwa, Kyle Ryan Bordner, Samuel Frederick Berkman, Ernest William Asare, Ilias Petros Larsinos, Ellen Grace Davis, Hannah Noel Broski, Courtney E. Capobianco, Carrie Jean Dunn, Jeffrey G. Bullock, Trent Callaghan Insel, Timothy Chartier, Coleman Marcus Halber, Justin Paul Gockler, Anas Kamal, Tazeen Jamal Khan, Madison Jenkins, Hannah M. Lambert, Ali Ahmad Al-Sharif, Ryan Stephen Bonshak, Tyler Vincent Lamaz Bridgewood, Nicholas Daniel Kaufman, Michael Brennan Duffy, Christine Marie Galat, Kevin Scott Louie, Bailey Elijah Brown, Gabriel Donald, Jenyu Lee, Johanna Toro,
President Simon, I present to you the candidates for the interdisciplinary programs from the College of Business and Economics and the P.C. Rossin College of Engineering and Applied Science for the degree of Masters of Science in Analytical Finance. Each of these candidates has completed the requirements for the master's degree in a field of specialization, and upon recommendation of the faculty and by vote of the Board of Trustees, is presented to you to receive that degree.
Candidates, I confer upon
Please stand.
Good idea, Georgia. I like that. Candidates, I confer upon each of you the degree of Master of Science in Analytical Finance with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
Please recognize the now standing master's degree recipients with our hearty congratulations and applause.
I now present the candidates for the interdisciplinary programs from the College of Arts and Sciences, the College of Business and Economics, and the P.C. Rossin College of Engineering and Applied Science for the degrees of Bachelor of Science in Computer Science and Business, Bachelor of Science in Integrated Business and Engineering, and Bachelor of Science Integrated Degree in Engineering, Arts, and Sciences. Will the candidates for these degrees please rise? President Simon, Each of these candidates has completed the requirements for graduation and, upon the recommendation of the faculty and by a vote of the Board of Trustees, is presented to you to receive the Bachelor's of Science degrees in their specialized interdisciplinary fields.
Candidates, I confer upon each of you the degree of Bachelor of Science in Computer Science and Business, Bachelor of Science in Integrated Business and Engineering, or Bachelor of Science Integrated Degree in Engineering, Arts, and Sciences, for which you have qualified, with all of the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
Please recognize the recipients of these degrees with our hearty congratulations and applause. The ushers will now bring these degree candidates forward to be individually recognized.
The following graduates are receiving a master's level degree. Fei Li,
Grun Yu Pan,
Shi Lu,
Ray Chin,
ZV Fan,
Rol Chan Ran,
Bian Li,
Xiao O Shur,
Xiao Myung Liao,
Shan Tao,
Chao Yu Ji,
Zibo Wang,
Alan Chen,
Zhong Nan Wang,
Zuo Chen,
Jia Sheng Wu,
Jiang Li,
Bai Sheng Yang,
Kui Wei Jiang,
Yuan Xia,
Zhang Jia,
Dei Zhang,
Jackie Luang,
Nan Zhang,
Wei Xingui,
Rachel Chuji Zhang,
Xiao Rong Li,
Yun Ji Zhao,
Zhang Yi Gao. Are you done? No, they have names. Oh. Ri Yu Guao, Feng Fei Han, Quinn Hao. The following graduates are receiving a bachelor's level degree. Ilana,
Peter Wen,
Megan O'Brien Bellinger,
Trong Min Wen,
Gabriel Sergio Lucci,
Ritika Podar,
Matthew Stephen Buell,
Michael James McGowan,
Nicholas Gerard DeMarco,
Brittany O'Neill,
Wei Chi Chen,
Rachel Yael Oken,
John Mark Wooten Carpentier,
Ferguson Brady Watkins,
Benjamin Samuel Kendall,
John Ernest St. Pierre,
Lauren Elizabeth Fossbenner,
David Morency,
Dylan Michael Gray,
Samuel David Presti,
Daniel S. Lee,
Mark Stark,
Jonathan Ross Blum,
Benjamin William Otterback,
Mackenzie Redmond Burns,
Benjamin Seligson,
Nicolette Ray Dunphy,
Mackenzie Buchanan Mooney,
Alyssa Gallagher,
Bryce Walker McComber,
John Yates Austin,
Anthony James Bulisi,
Russell Keller Laros IV,
Nick Robert Valletta,
Dalian Aram Kosar,
Ross Adam Zimmerman,
Ashley Kim,
Simon Mack,
Perry Lindsay Becker,
Zachary Wentworth Tiki,
Alexa J. Kaufman,
Andrew Joseph Aloa,
George Heberling Ebbs III,
Bram Miller Robinson,
Nathan Richard De Raymond,
Chase Belmont Mena,
Spencer Martin Lolicht,
Harrison M. Sommer,
William Reed Chadwick,
Bill Ulrich,
Charles Justus Berghausen Bickhart,
Studi S. Tilwa,
Quinn Xavier Giuliano,
Holland Margaret Rosa,
Pablo Felipe Aviles Ruiz,
Matthew D. Rothberg,
Joseph William Carney,
Anna Daniela Malislova,
Zoe Allen Gottlieb,
Emily A. Pickholtz.
Jordan Russell Hess.
Allison H. Rubin.
Michael Martin Diaz.
Stephen Richard Piligi.
Emma Isabella Kravitz.
Deep Sheth.
Brielle Gemberling.
Danielle Truan.
Logan Herr.
Tyler John Sudol.
Scott Kenneth Henry.
Daniel Joseph Ritter.
Haley Patricia Gleason.
Natalie Surfert.
Jack Brennan Circus.
Kelsey Marie Strobel.
Benedict Kim.
Nicole M. McCallum.
Christopher Allen Kersey.
Michaela Jazz Cleary Hammerstead.
Sally Youngmin Huang.
Rachel Jacqueline Shields.
Joseph Gerard Freeman.
Tristan Storm Morales.
Kyle David Christensen.
Wesley Osborne.
Joshua William Blatt.
Christopher P. O'Neill.
Christopher Alexander.
Sarah Elizabeth Qureshi.
Gary DeSarno.
Gibson James Riney.
Noah Harrison Marcus.
Jacques Reyes Saint Germain.
Amanda P. Lane.
Noah Tucker.
Sihan Louis.
William Maya.
Hannah Christian Leskio.
Jason Nero.
Paige Grossman.
Benjamin Moss.
Kiana Tishen Loike.
Adam Suwicki.
Kieran Gobbs. Bryce Unwitz. Sophie Ellen Brysonwitz. Sean Patrick Kenny. Deepshika Das. Rachel Fan. Adam Robert Nuckley. Corey D. Kaplan. Ryan Nicholas Cartico. Mark Renee Laflamme. Daniel James Colvin. Matthew R. Kawa. Samuel Francis Rogalski. Daniel John Beadle. Daniel Richard Kessler. Justin Pierce Brock Smith. Winston Trong La. James Fish. Sean Freak.
So to our newly minted graduates, this is that moment where you get to move the tassel from the right to the left. Congratulations. I would now like to welcome Patrick Fischer, class of 97 and 98, and outgoing president of the Lehigh University Alumni Association Board of Directors to address our newest alumni.
Congratulations, graduates. That's right, yeah. This is an accomplishment to truly celebrate, and you got unbelievable weather. Very lucky there. While your time on campus may be coming to a close, Lehigh most certainly will be with you forever. I am here today representing the Lehigh University Alumni Association, a family of 80,000 strong that binds us all together. Otherwise known as LUAA, the Alumni Association is a vibrant global community that is here for you as you begin your postgraduate adventures. My first internship was through relationships that LUAA helped forge. My first job was due to the same extensive Lehigh network. When I moved to Boston after graduation, the local LUAA club was there to help me acclimate. I encourage all of you to leverage your extended Lehigh family. Please take advantage of everything LUAA has to offer. My only request is that you remain strong ambassadors for Lehigh. When a prospective student from your high school asks about Lehigh, return her call or take her for a tour. When an aspiring Lehigh accounting student asks for career guidance on one of LUAA's online forums, happily provide it. When a chemistry PhD student inquires about an R&D job that your company may have, guide him through the process. Now, continuing our Lehigh tradition, Doug Breen, 1968 class president, And Hi Lee, 2018 class president, will ring the bell. Thank you.
Thank you. Following the recessional, please join Lehigh University's newest alumni at their college's reception in the tents outside the south entrance of the stadium. And now, please rise for the benediction and remain standing for the alma mater.
Please join me in prayer. All praise is due to you, God, the Almighty, the merciful, the compassionate, first, the last, the manifest, and the hidden. We beseech and implore none but you, and seek your grace and pardon in forgiving our trespasses and missteps. On this joyous occasion for our graduates and their families, we call upon you to aid us in showing gratitude for the myriad blessings you have bestowed upon us, and continue to bestow upon us, despite our shortcomings and inability to properly thank you for them. We ask you, most loving God, to bless our graduates, their families, and the teachers and staff of Lehigh who have carried out your work in educating and nurturing these young minds and hearts. We ask you, most gentle God, to heal the hearts that have grieved and mend the relationships that have splintered. We ask you, most bountiful God, to provide for our families and communities and increase them out of your divine grace and of your manifest and hidden favors. We ask you, omniscient God, to aid us in accepting and witnessing the wisdom in your winds of destiny and respecting the sails of human effort and endeavor. We ask you, most gracious God, to facilitate all our affairs with serenity of our souls and well-being of our bodies, and be our companion in our journey and the guardian of our families. We ask you, most forbearing God, to give us the fortitude and strength to be healers and nurturers for our families and communities, and remove from our hearts ill will and rancor for those we love and cherish, and for those we deem different than us. We ask you, most munificent God, to preserve the dignity and honor of our children, fathers, mothers, brothers, and sisters, and to bless them with bountiful sustenance and provision. We ask you, most compassionate God, to live the trials and afflictions of our downtrodden and oppressed, and sanctify their hearts, and raise them in spirit and soul. We ask you, most beneficent God, to suffice us with your grace and providence, and bring us closer to you by recognizing your innumerable blessings, both hidden and manifest. Bring us to dignified humility before you by the invocation of your blessings and not by the ingloriousness of our mistakes. Upon you do we call, and to you do we beseech, and in your name do we seek. Amen.
Stop.